let's do this. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yup. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is excellent. What? What's up, Xbox fans? Okay, look. Got this nice little article here. It says here, Game Pass will hit 50 million subscribers if Activision merger closes. Analyst says here, since the choosing to pay an astounding $68.7 billion to acquire the major giant Activision Blizzard, Microsoft has had a tough time. They have encountered problems with regulatory bodies like the FTC and have faced opposition from power corporations like Sony and Google. But you already know why they're mad. But anyway, although Microsoft seems to be going through a lot right now, their Game Pass will benefit significantly if the deal goes through. According to analyst Michael Pachter, the Xbox Game Pass will hit 50 million subscribers by the end of 2024. Says here, in recent episode of the Pachter Factor, analyst Michael Pachter stated that the Xbox Game Pass will have 50 million subscribers by the end of 2024 if the Microsoft Activision agreement is approved, adding that he predicted this is pretty boldly. The statement made in response to whether Xbox should leave Europe. Pachter said that 10 million members of Xbox Game Pass would likely come from Europe alone. He said that the Xbox Game Pass currently has a roughly 25 million customers, and according to him, that number would be doubled by the end of 2024 if the Microsoft Activision deal goes through. He added that although PlayStation players would still buy and play major first-party PlayStation titles like Last of Us and Uncharted on their console, they would be more inclined to sign up for Xbox Game Pass to have access to Call of Duty and a variety of other games. It says here, this is a pretty bold statement, but he seemed very confident with it, and this will be pretty big for Xbox as well, since they missed their 2022 goal for Xbox Game Pass by a whopping 10 million. We are excited and looking forward to the future of the Xbox Game Pass. This is the limited information we have now, but we will be looking for more news regarding Xbox Game Pass in the future. What do you think about Michael Pachter saying that Xbox Game Pass will hit 50 million subscribers by the end of 2024? If the Microsoft Activision deal goes through, let us know in the comment section. Alright, listen up, man. Look, let's set the record straight. This video game industry is competition is the name of the game. This video game industry is very, very, very competitive, and you have to maintain your competitive edge in this video game market to maintain some relevancy. Sony and Google are mad because Microsoft beat them to the punch when it comes to Activision Blizzard. Sony had Call of Duty, right? They had exclusivity to Call of Duty. When the whole Activision situation was happening, Sony didn't stop what they were doing and say, you know what? Let's go over to Activision and see what's going on here. What is really happening with this company? Why is this such a big news about them in the industry going on? You know what I'm saying? And that is called having an inclined ear to the industry, right? If you're Sony and you have Call of Duty, right, and your contract is about to be up, Activision Blizzard is having problems, you're supposed to stop what you're doing and say, oh, you know what? This is Activision Blizzard here. We need to go over there and see what's going on here. Maybe we can help them. Okay, what's going on with you guys? Why are all this problem happening? What is happening here? And dig deep until you find out what's going on. If they would have did that and found out that Facebook was trying to buy Activision Blizzard, but didn't, like them sensors on Metal Gear when it goes off, their antenna should have went up like, look, oh, so you guys were trying to sell Activision Blizzard? Okay, how much? About 70 billion. Really? 70? Okay, we got it. We want to purchase Activision Blizzard from you. Done. That's what Sony should have done. They didn't do it. They didn't think the problem was that serious. Nintendo had the money to get Activision Blizzard. They did nothing. Then there's Tencent, and Tencent got Bank. Then there's Take-Two. Then there's Amazon. Then there's Google. When the whole Activision Blizzard situation happened, every one of those people, every one of those companies that I mentioned should have went over there and said, man, what is going on here? What is happening? Because this is affecting the industry. What is happening? None of them did it. Microsoft, on the other hand, saw that nobody has control over Activision Blizzard, or nobody did anything. And a sense of urgency kicked into overdrive. Phil Spencer runs back to the heads at Microsoft and like, look, we need to jump at this. They already got Game Pass up and running, right? We need to jump at this. What y'all think? The heads at Microsoft looking at each other like, okay, guys, what you guys think? Should we get involved? Is it any of our business? Should we care? Should we show them love? Should we show them compassion? Should we show them sympathy? I mean, should we help them? What benefit is Activision Blizzard to us? Look, we already got Game Pass up and running. Should we step in? Okay, go. And take 70 billion with you. Go now. And just like an eagle with his claws out, the deal is done. Sony, Nintendo, Take-Two, Tencent, Amazon, Google, and Nvidia with GeForce Now, they did nothing. And Microsoft beat them to the punch. That's why Sony and Google is mad. Sony is mad that their contract is about to be up. And the second why Sony is mad, they don't have control of Activision Blizzard. Microsoft beat them to the punch with this. So when it comes to Game Pass now, competition is the name of the game. Phil Spencer said this months ago. He said Sony and what did he say? He said Sony and Nintendo is not our competitors. What that statement means is that Phil Spencer looked down the road and see who are the competitors out there and what they have to do at Microsoft to maintain their competitive edge in this market. And that's when Game Pass come into play. So it's like, okay, they were getting Game Pass up. They were looking for people to join them. And ZeniMax Bethesda was the first to sign up. Okay, what, Game Pass? Okay, tell us about it. What is this? Okay, let's talk. It took them 3 years. Once Game Pass is up, oh yeah, that's called maintain your competitive edge. So when Activision Blizzard popped up now, Nintendo, Sony, Take-Two, Tencent, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, they did nothing. Microsoft, on the other hand, they saw an opportunity. When a company is wounded, and they're injured and they're going through problems, that is when you swoop in and get them. That's what Microsoft did. Beat everybody to the punch. And we're talking Activision Blizzard here. Activision Blizzard. We're talking Crash. We're talking Candy Crush. We're talking Diablo. We're talking StarCraft. World of Warcraft. And of course, Call of Duty. Activision Blizzard was up for grabs. Anybody could have gotten them, okay? And that's why Sony is mad. So they ran to the FTC looking for help. And then you got, I mean, not the FTC, but the UK. But then the FTC now, they jump in trying to file a lawsuit, but they didn't have a case. They try to rely on our past history and think that's going to help them. That's a different situation. This is about ownership of our Activision Blizzard. And none of the names that I mentioned stepped in. Microsoft beat them. The FTC now try to file a case. And try to file a case. They didn't even have one. Now they're asking Microsoft to. They didn't give Microsoft their due process, right? Then they turn around. We telling them that they need to turn in paperwork, right? Microsoft turning in paperwork. But now you're telling Microsoft, oh, you're not being transparent enough. Really? Oh, you don't have a case, so you need me to turn in more information to build one. So basically, Microsoft beat everybody to the punch with this. That's all this comes down to. Activision Blizzard is up for grab, man. Up for grab. Okay, you guys got big pockets. Okay, who's going to take the first plunge? And none of them did nothing. None of them. When the whole situation was happening, when people on YouTube were talking about it all that time, they didn't see that Activision Blizzard was really up for grabs. When people were on YouTube talking about Activision Blizzard, they didn't realize that Activision Blizzard was up for grabs. And you got all these big name companies out there with pockets, and you're telling me you can't afford $70 billion, and you call yourself a billion-dollar company? What a joke. Microsoft is like, we're gonna seize this. Deal is done. First come, first serve. Okay, so yeah, Game Pass. Oh yeah, with the games that they with the games that they got developing at that studio right now. Of course, Game Pass is gonna grow with all the studios that Microsoft acquired to get Game Pass growing. Oh yeah, of course it's gonna grow to 50 million or even more. And then all those different companies that's using Game Pass, Linux with the Steam Deck and Linux desktop gaming, Apple, Logitech, what's that? One X, GPD, ANEO, Nvidia. They're all going to benefit from this, man. So Activision Blizzard was up for grabs, man. Was really up for grabs. When you really look at this situation, all that crying Sony is doing, they didn't keep their ears like inclined to the industry. They probably saw the problem like, it's nothing. We can renew our Call of Duty contract when this is all done. What? Not when you have a company like Microsoft lurking. Microsoft is like a shark in the water lurking. As soon as they see prey, it's a wrap. They're coming. Got them, man. So Microsoft had to maintain their competitive edge in this market. Of course, Game Pass is gonna grow with the games that they got coming. Oh yeah, with the games that they have, with the studios they acquired and the games that they have in development. Of course, it's gonna grow, man. I mean, you got Elder Scrolls 6 that they're working on. That probably won't come out till the next generations of Xbox. You know, you got Starfield, you got Redfall, you got Avowed. I mean, you got Gears of War, a new Gears of War. You got a whole bunch of games that they're working on. Then you got then you have what's that? A new Killer Instinct that's supposed to be in the works. So they got all kind of games working that they're developing, man. So it's all about maintaining your competitive edge, man. Because look, once you have a user base, man, you have to keep that user base fed. You have to feed that user base, man. It's like having a pack of wolves, man. And okay, you're the head of the group, okay, but that means you got to go out and go catch. You got to go out and go catch a You got to go out and go catch a buffalo to feed the entire group. And that's what Microsoft is doing, man. They got a user base, man. It's big. They got to keep feeding that group. So they have to maintain their competitive edge in this market. And they have to do what they have to do, man. So, okay. Game Pass, Game Pass is just, it's just that good, man. I mean, once they got ZeniMax Bethesda on board, man, it was off to the races. Activision Blizzard now just popped up on their radar, man. And problems is happening within that studio, all kinds. The amount of people that was talking about it, but they didn't see that Activision Blizzard was up for grabs. You got some big companies with big pockets, man. Big pockets. Okay, you got billions of dollars. Okay, which one of you gonna purchase Activision Blizzard? Which one of you? Yeah, Microsoft saw that. Off to the races, man. They had to move. They had to move quick on it. They had to, or else somebody else was gonna get them. They had to. So, yeah, the Activision Blizzard was wounded, man. Yeah. And Sony was crying because they didn't keep their ears like inclined to the industry. You know, like when problems is happening with a studio, man, you don't turn your back like this or turn your back like this and walk away from it. If you're a console manufacturer, if you're a console manufacturer, and you got your own games, but you got studios that make games for you, if you see that studio is going through something, man, you got to step in and be like, okay, what's happening here? What's going on with you guys? What can we help you with? Or do you need help? Not Sony. Sony didn't do none of that. If they would have if they would have investigated that situation, man, they would be the one purchasing Activision Blizzard, but they didn't do anything. Microsoft is like, we got to seize this now. Like an eagle, man, when they spot prey. It's done. Like they say on Call of Duty Black Ops 4, man. First comes, first served, man. So they had to do what they had to do, man, to stay competitive in this market. Okay? I mean, they know that Sony and Nintendo has a big user base. They know. So Microsoft is like, okay, we know they got a big user base. Okay, so how are we going to maintain some relevancy in this market when Sony and Nintendo has a big user base? How are we going to do this? Game Pass. Yeah. So once Activision Blizzard was on the radar, on the map, and they saw that, it was off to the races, man. With no hesitation or no faking it or no pump faking. We got to seize this now. They did it. Okay, so yeah, they have the Game Pass. Xbox have to maintain their competitive edge in this market, man. They have to, you know. This game industry is about being consistent. You got to be consistent in this video game industry. If you don't, then you're gonna pay a price, man. you're gonna pay a price. I mean, look at Valve. I mean, look at Valve. When Valve came out with the Steam Deck, and from the time I said video game news is real estate, they made a move. They've been in the news every day since. From the time the Steam Deck came out and I made that video when I said video game news is real estate, I guess one of them must have saw the video and they were like, oh, we got to be consistent. And they're learning. This video game industry is about consistency, man, and you have to maintain your competitive edge, man, or you will get swallowed up, man. So Microsoft had to do what they had to do, man, you know, to maintain their relevancy, man. You know, look, I can argue the case against the FTC any day of the week. This Activision court case situation, this Activision case, I can argue that case any day against them because I understand it. You have to maintain your competitive edge in this video game market, man. You have to. You got a huge fan base, and they need food. And if you're the leader of that group, you gotta make sure that your user base stays fed. Plain and simple. So yeah, 50 million. Yeah, they did what they had to do, man. So this video game industry is about maintaining your competitive edge. Anyway, leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.